super quick video on the blow tie assembly. Spunding valve. Can use it for a few different things. Let's put it together. This is what you get. You get the blow tie piece. It's more or less a valve. You get a gauge, pressure gauge, a quick disconnect, a gas quick disconnect, screw type, a T-piece, push in, and another push in that goes over that screw type. That's it. Oh, and some line. You'll need some line. I think they supply little bits of line. I'm just going to cut up some of this line and use this. There's better tools than scissors, but tonight I'm using scissors. I'm just going to cut that bit off, get rid of it. This is proper beer line. This happens to be 5mm. You could use the 4mm if that's what you have. I'm just going to cut some pieces. That should be long enough. That should be long enough. This is a Super Flex. It's much more softer than the old hard style line, but it's still really sturdy. I really like it. Okay, it's all pushing. So there's our quick disconnect. It's all pushing except for that, that's a screw in. The screw in goes like that. That goes in there. That goes in there. That goes in there. That goes in there. And that goes on the end. Let's do it. Hand tight should be enough for this. If you're worried about hand tight, use something else, but it should be enough. We'll soon find out. Alright, so these are really simple connections. Yeah, just push them in and pull them out a bit. That's it, done. Same with the pressure gauge. Let's get that on. Can go into that T-piece, push it in, pull it out. Push it in, pull it out. I pull them out anyway. Everyone else does. Find it grabs better. Now, is there a direction for this? I have not looked and I don't have my glasses on. Yes, there is a direction. And the arrow is pointing that way. So we'll soon find out if I have it on the wrong way. The arrow's pointing that way, I'm going to make it go that way. Following the arrow. There we go. So simply the pressure builds up here through the gas. The reading, of course, the gauge takes the reading of the pressure, and this is like an on-off switch. So if you leave that open, you're going to lose all your gas if you happen to have this connected up to a gas bottle, but you wouldn't do that. And this should regulate the pressure of the gas. Now there's a lot better ways to do this. You'd hook up a beer disconnect to your gas line, so you could put in your spunding on your where it's supposed to go on the gas line, and hook your gas up to the beer, force, you know, put some gas on it, equalise it out, and you'll know the pressure. What I'm going to do is put in about 20 psi on it, just quickly, and I'm going to chuck the spunding valve on and just adjust it down to where I want it. Where I'm going to set it tonight to about 8 psi or something like that, 5 to 8 psi, something just low. And as the pressure builds up for the ferment, I can adjust it later. This is just to get an initial pressure on the valve. Now I've got this set to 20. I'm just going to chuck that on for a sec. Right, that should be about 20 psi in there. See how this goes. As I said, we've got the arrow pointing that way. We'll whack it on. Alright, so we're up to 20 psi. You can tell by that, but it is. Oh, there we go. We're losing pressure now. As you screw it out, that would be about my carbonation pressure there for my beer. But just in case this is a little bit different to my usual regulators, I'm just going to go a bit further down. I'm just going to go under 10, I reckon about 9. We're at 10 now, so I'm just going to go a little bit past it. Now I'm going to just back off. I mean back on or back off. Turn it. I'll go a little bit more. Alright, so we're at about 9 now, that's where I wanted it. We'll just see where that settles. That's where I want it. That's perfect. That's way more accurate and easier to use than the old style Spunding valves. I'm really happy with that. The old style Spunding valves were one of the reasons I stopped using this so much. They weren't a killer. You know, you can still use this without them and still get away with it, but this is great. Now this is my first transfer from the Fermentosaurus at pressure like this anyway. So I haven't changed the pressure on the gas bottle, so by rights the CO2, empty CO2 bottle should be about the same pressure as the fermenter is. What I'm thinking about doing is using this to regulate the gas out and try and slow the fill of the keg a little bit. But I don't want to risk beer coming up here, even if it's just foam of beer, and going in to the gauge. So I'm going to take the gauge off and just use this valve. If this gets beer in it, I can wash it. I don't want to ruin the gauge. Maybe. Yeah, there we go. Just got to push it in properly. And so I need to push this side in. You need to make sure they're pushed right in before you try and pull it out, and then they just slide out. So I'm going to stick that onto there. Ooh, that's the right side, I think. There we go. I can regulate the pressure coming out of there to hopefully slow the beer down a little bit. We'll see how we go. And if as I said, if I get beer into there, it doesn't matter. If I get beer into that, ruins it. So I've hooked the CO2 bottle up again to the top of the fermenter. Got my empty keg here. Well, it's not empty, it's full of CO2. Just going to hook up the beer line. Hopefully the pressure is about equal so it just doesn't shoot in and foam it and make a whole lot of mess. Now we're on there. Beer hasn't shot up out, so I'm guessing we are about the right pressure. Put this end, make sure I'm on the right post. On the beer, it's the outpost, the beer post. Nothing's moving. That's a good sign that this is all equal. If I, by rights, if I let a little bit of pressure out, yeah, see the beer start coming through? Better check where we're up to. We're just over 20 litres. I want about 18 litres in here. We're not really going down because we're all pressure equalised. Now you can do, as I said, you can do it by pulling this. I'm going to try using this and see how we go. So that's going to be letting beer go down, go through. I'm going slow. I might let this off a bit so. And we're starting to see. It might be a bit hard for you to see from there. It's going in nice and slow. Hopefully not foaming too much. I'll speed it up a little bit. I'll give you a closer look. So there we have the beer coming out of there. Down in my fermenter. That's still letting a bit of pressure out there. Keg, I mean. We are slowly going down, as you can see. That's probably even too slow. I might even try speeding it up a bit. Very slow. But that's good. At least we're hopefully not getting too much foaming inside. That's it. Took me, what, 10 seconds to put it together. Or if I had the pipes cut already. I'm really happy with that. I'll leave a link down the bottom. Cheers.